thrilled to be joined by Jezabel Montero, who is the fabulous writer, director, producer of the very first Audience Choice Award on iWomanTV, Lies in Oblivion, which I really enjoyed so much. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful piece of work with us, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Kathleen. I really appreciate that. I'm so excited to be part of your, network and community, and iWomanTV is just great because I've mentioned before in a lot of other promos I was doing while we were campaigning for the contest, how excited I am to be part of iWomanTV and the platform, and there's venue and there's ways of people connecting with other female filmmakers. So thank you for giving us that, and thank you for the award.
Well, you are so welcome. You are exactly the reason that we built iWomanTV. It's for filmmakers just like yourself, and the vision that I had actually since I was a little girl was to be on TV and to be producing, and so I'm doing what I love, and I wanted to build a community of other women who are doing the same and get some of this great content, these great stories out in the universe.
The story is actually based on an actual therapy session. Just to give a little bit of backstory to our audience in case they haven't seen the film, it's two sisters that go to a therapy session. It's a comedy, of course, because therapy is always funny. So, so they go to a therapy session to hash out these things about their parents, and it goes awry. It's actually loosely based on a real therapy session I had with my sister. I tend to flip things and make them funny. My real life wasn't as funny, but I found the humor in it, and that's what kind of helps me survive.
The acting was so good. The storyline was really funny, and it was really relatable. It was so unique, but of course, therapy sessions should be turned into, real life drama, because that's exactly what it is.
Like, some people actually told me, turn it into a series, every week there's a different therapy, there's different sessions, or not, or the sisters come every week and hash out a bunch of different things, because there was so much more that we could talk about, right, in therapy and hash out. But I wanted to keep it self-contained. I wanted to keep it a short film.
Well, I have to admit, watching it, I am of that other side of the belief system that I kept thinking this should just be a series. Like, every week should just be, another family or couple that comes in. And the therapist, obviously that role was hilarious and so well played. So if you decide that you want to elaborate and make it extended into a series or something, let's definitely talk about that, for
Sure. Oh, that would be great. I have a couple of projects down the line. I have another comedy series that I actually, during quarantine last year, turned into a podcast.
Let's talk about it, because in addition to the $2,000 cash award that we are presenting to you as our winning Audience Choice Award winner, there also is the distribution deal. So we want to collaborate with you. We want to hear about your other projects. We want to just lend whatever support we can and be your Shiro village that's hopefully helping to lift you up.
You always have to have the next thing. You know what I mean? So I've got a feature. I've got actually an autobiographical series about Mother Jones. I've got like a bunch of other things. It's either Latino or women. I've got a short film that I produced called Crabs in a Barrel. It's a dark comedy. It's an all Latino cast. It's, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, because that's one of my missions with my company, Fuacata Films, to really bring more diversity and inclusion and give people like you, what you do with iWomanTV, give people more opportunities that don't normally have the opportunity. So we did that with Crabs in a Barrel, which I'm very proud of, because even behind the scenes, we had 80% diversity and maybe 75% women.
It just feels so good when women can collaborate and support one another, and you can be on a set where it's just girl power all around.
It's all well and good if it's an even playing field, right? It's not an even playing field. If we have 9 out of 10 directors in Hollywood are men, then no, it's not an even playing field. So we kind of gotta push our way through, right? We're gonna give the job to the best person.
Yeah, I always, my favorite saying is, we don't mind separate, we just want equal. So
exactly.
I don't mind separate at all. We can do our own thing, but it should be equal. And if you tell me that you don't have representation behind the scenes because you can't find a qualified director or writer or producer, I'm going to give you 150 of them.
Oh, I love
Tell
that.
me again that you can't find anyone. Choose which talented, creative female director, writer, producer, photographer, editor you would like to use.
I agree with you completely. And as a matter of fact, I have people coming to me all the time for just a really wide range of a talent pool.
There are a lot of qualified, very seasoned, experienced women that we would like to show the world are available and qualified.
Appreciate that, you know, and I'm right there with you. And every opportunity I get, I do the same thing. Right? I know you're interviewing me, but tell me a little bit about you and your background.
You're such a writer, producer, director. Listen to you, Jezabel.
But I love stories, right? I love stories.
A dream was planted in my mind when I was about 7 years old. I played Harriet Tubman in a school play. From that point on, I knew that I wanted to be on a stage somewhere. Didn't know much about it. I grew up in a small town, had a very rough beginning to my life, came out of foster care and an orphanage, but I loved to write. And writing became my savior. I'm in college, a theater minor and a journalism major. And from that point on, into the real world, I became a news anchor for many years. So I worked in a lot of markets in news for the first half of my career. And then at some point, I just said, I want to tell stories that are not being dictated or shortened to a minute and a half, on television. And so I started my own production company back in, I think, 2008.
Wow.
And from that point on, I just started, sitting on both sides of the camera. I still act, I still produce, I write, I do a little bit of everything, but my heart is helping other women. So that's the birth of iWomanTV.
Oh, that's a great story. I think you're a bit of an activist, because that's a form of activism, creating a place where women can have their voices heard. And so that's a form of protest, right? You want to say, hey, I'm here, I am woman, hear me roar. I like that a lot. And I felt the same way. I started off as an actor. I'm a theater actor. I went to UCLA. I in the theater program, and I graduated from UCLA, and I came back to New York because I wanted to do theater. So I acted a lot in theater. I've done, my background is I've done over 60 plays, all kinds of characters. And what was wonderful about theater is there wasn't that kind of stereotyping and pigeonholing, for me anyway. At around that age, mid to late 30s, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm not getting the roles I want. Like you, I said, you know what? I just got to do my own thing, write my own story. Let me see what happens. The minute I started writing and directing and producing and doing these projects that were guided by like this mission that I had to tell my stories and other people's stories that I could relate to, everything opened up. All of a sudden I do my own thing and I get the phone calls. So anyway, it's similar. You change your trajectory a little bit and everything opens up.
It all opens up, and it literally is like that. So I'm happy to be joined by a fellow badass woman, if I might say. And I look forward to doing so many things together. Congratulations again, the very first Audience Choice Award on iWomanTV. I hope that this is the very beginning of many things to come.
Oh, thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate it. I'm really excited about having it on iWomanTV. And people, check out the movie, check out iWomanTV. You can go to my website, fuacatafilms.com. You can see all the stuff we're doing. Lots of stuff going on.
Awesome. Good. Can't wait to check it all out. All right. Take care, and thanks again.
Thanks, Kathleen. You too. Take care.